Hello everyone, welcome once again to my channel, and obviously we are doing data and analysis, and in this series we are going to be working on functions. So I have a bit of pointers on my left, a few things I want us to touch before we end this video. And obviously in the first two videos we did a bit of functions, but today we are going to be diving into basic functions. I promise it's going to be fun. So let's dive right into it as I pull up my Excel sheet. Give it a moment and let me zoom in a bit. Yes, so today we are going to be working on, like I said, a few functions in Excel. So what functions do in general is they allow you to compute certain formulas to data, and then you get a particular results that you want. Okay, so the first one we're going to be dealing with is the function AND. Okay, just the word AND, AND. Okay, and just like it sounds, it's obviously when you say AND, it means you are putting one or two things in close comparison. So let's say the usual phrase that we say Kofi and Ama. Obviously it's one of the common phrases that we used to say, and then another one like Kwame and Ama. So because I'm referring to Saturday bonds. Okay, so when you use the word and, you are usually talking about two things you're putting into close comparison. Okay, so what do I want on this data? So I have something small here I've written as fire type and more than 70 speed. So I'm basically going to look at this particular column here, and I'm saying that I want to look at fire, and I want the fire that has its speed more than 70. Okay, and how do we do that? So all you do is, like we always do, you type the equal to sign and then type and once you type and, open the brackets, and then if you watched our first two videos, you understand this thing by now. The logics that are down there, they guide us to pick the values that we want. So I say the first thing I'm talking about is I want to compare fire. Okay, like I said here, I want the value for fire and more than 70. So let me just go back one moment and let me explain something. So what I'm looking for is, I'm looking through this table. This is a table. Okay, I haven't put in the table, it's a range, but in your mind put as a table for now. Okay, and you realize that we have name type 1 speed. So we have something called the Bulbasaur. It's a grass and has a speed of 45 miles per hour. And then we have a Venusaur, we have a Charmander, we have a Chameleon, we have a Blastoise. Trust me, I just picked this data because they have very interesting names. And then it's a type. So there's the type of Blastoise is water, and then it has a speed of 78. Okay, and then we have something like a Chameleon, and then the type is a fire. It has a speed of 80. So when you look at this column, all I'm calculating is, I'm dealing with fire first. So I want to find in this column whether this is fire and it has a speed more than 70. If it has a speed more than 70, then it will tell me it is true. Okay, so that brings me to something called a Boolean. So when we do the AND, it will only give us a Boolean response, and the Boolean response is whether something is true or false. Okay, so I'm sure a number of you know by now what a Boolean is if you've been using it in your work environment. Or to anybody who doesn't know what a Boolean is, a Boolean is all about true and false. Okay, basically when you go to exams and you're choosing the true or false questions, all of those true or false questions are Boolean questions. Okay, so now how do we do that? Let's get back into our formula. So equal to and, so you type the function first, and so what do I want? I say I want fire. Now fire is a comment, or is a string. I will explain that later, but just do this. So I want fire, so I'm going to put it in the comment. Okay, I want fire. This is how it is typed. Okay, and I want what? A speed more than 70. So I type 70. Now this is not going to give me any answer. In fact, it's going to give me an error. Okay, this is an error because I'm not relating this to any field. I'm just saying that fire and 70, so it says true. But what I want to do is I want to compare the column B and column C to tell me whether in this column it is fire and it is more than 70. Okay, so how do we do that? So since the first section of the logic is responsible for the column we are referring to, you will now just come behind the fire and then click on grass. So it will select what? Cell B3 and then say equal to. So what we are saying is that is cell B3 equal to fire? Okay, is cell B3 equal to fire? And so you come now to the second logic just in front of the 70 and then select its corresponding line value, which is 45, and is the speed which we are talking about. Okay, is the speed for the Bulbasaur in cell C3 equal to the 70 that I want. Now when I hit enter, it tells me what? False. Why? Because there is no fire here and this is no more than what? 70. So I will drag it down, and obviously we are seeing everything for false, and the question is, I can see fire here, this is more than 70. Why is it saying false? If you saw this particular error, then you are with me. So what we have to do is, when you look back into this particular site, the second logic, we indicated is this cell equal to 70. And obviously, every single cell that is not equal to 70, they are either less than 70 or they are more than 70. So instead of using the equal to sign, what do you think we will use? The greater than sign. So when we are saying something is more than something, we use the greater than sign. So we just do this. So we are saying is cell C3 with the value in cell C3 more than 70. Now it says false, so we will drag this formula all the way down, and we see that there is a true here. Okay, so let me just color this with a green. So we've seen there's a fire, and then this is 100, and 100 is more than 70, so it gives us a true. This is fire, this is 80. 80 is more than 170, and it gives us a true. But look at something. We have fire here, and it is less than 70, right? It is less than 70. I think the red is too much. Let's get a much more lower tone. Let's go down to this level. Yeah. Okay. So there's fire here, but it is less than 65. So it has given us a what? A 4. So this is how easy it is to just test two things. Imagine what kind of data you'll be using, and you would want to just test to find out whether certain information you put in a column are exactly what you want. So let's do another one. Let's say we want grass less than 45. No, let's do grass less than or equal to. So it means that anything from 0 to 45. If we do just less than, it will end at 44. But if we say anything less than or equal to 45, so let's just type here grass. Hey, this is not grass. Yes, this is grass. Grass. So we are doing and for grass, and then we are saying what? Less than or equal to. Okay, so let's just type this. So how do we do it? How do you do it? You can pause the video here and then try it, and then compare your answer to this later. Okay, so if you are done, this is how you should do it. Equal to, again, grass. No, not grass. You type the and first, and into bracket. Is grass equal to what I want? What do we want? What we want is grass, right? Why do I have to keep typing this? Grass, yes. And then you put a comma, and then the next section is what your speed is. The speed with it, we said less than or equal to. Less than or equal to. This is how to put two assignment operators together. So there's a less than logic, and then there's the equal to logic. Okay, not the equal to before the less than. The less than before the equal to. And then we said what? 70. We will not put 70 in a quote because 70 is a number. If we put anything we put in a quote means it is a text. It is not a number. Okay, so keep yourself abreast with us. This should give us what? True, because we have what we are talking about is, oh, not 70, we were talking about 45. Okay, we said 45, so let's just remove this and then put 45. Now let's drag all the way down, and then you will see we have grass here, we have grass here. All of them is more than 45, so they gave us what? A false. And then this gives us a true because here is 45, and we indicated that we want anything less than or equal to 45. What if here goes to say 40? It should still give us a true. So I change that value to 40 and I still have a true. Okay, but once I change it to 46, you'll see that it gives me what? A false. So that is how to work with the AND operator. I think we have about 9 minutes. Let's jump to the next operator. So you can try your hands on water less than or equal to 58. Try something of that sort and let me have your feedback in the comment section, or you can also give me a feedback in the Discord. Please do not forget we have a Discord channel where a lot of recommendation from team members are ongoing. If they have any difficulties, they reach out and they will resolve that. Okay, so the next one I want us to talk about is hidden here. So let me just unhide it, and then we will go to that one. We will treat the ones below in another video. Okay, so let's hide this, hide, and then let's talk about this. You have a data set and you want to calculate the average. Okay, and once so the average, when you're calculating average, you are taking into consideration a number of values, and you want to find what the average is for those particular values. Okay, so to calculate the average is simple. You type equal to, and obviously the average. You can see that once you start typing, it comes up, so you can double click it, and then it says which number and what is the range of numbers you want to find the average for. So I want to find the average for this and that and that and that all together. But so you have two ways of doing it. You can just select one and put equal to, the next one equal to, the third equal to, the fourth equal to, and then close the bracket, and it will give you the average. But imagine you have a long data set, so you cannot do that. So efficiency is what we are looking at for in this video. So clear this, and then once you have your average and open brackets open, highlight from the first number to the last number. So you click hold and then you drag it across. Okay, and then hit enter. So now it gives us what? A 4. So you realize that in the previous, when we did the 111, it gave us 3 point something. Let's do that. Let's do that. We did this, comma that, comma that, comma that. Oh, did that mean that we did not add one cell in the previous one? Perhaps. Okay, so that is what I was trying to prove. It should have given us the same value that we had, so it means we didn't do the first one well. Okay, so once you have this, as usual, come down to the bottom and drag the formula down. Okay, and then it gives us the average. If you want to check this, you can just pull out your calculator. So let me pull out my calculator very quick, and let me drag it to this side of the screen. Hold on. The calculator doesn't seem want to move. Okay, so this is what we do. We can do it here. So this is what we do. You can just do equal to this plus this plus this plus the last one is this, right? And hit equal to. So it's 16. Now to find an average, once you sum up all the values, you divide it by the number of things that you are finding the average for, right? So we added the values and we are dividing by how many item or things do we have here. We have 4: poke ball, great ball, ultra ball, and then master ball. So it is 4. So that means, so we put our 4 here and then say, okay, equal to this, and you know this is the divide symbol, right? The slash. This divided by what? the value down there, and it is 4. So that tells you how easy. So instead of doing this manual process that we just did now, you can just use the function what average, and then you just drag and it gives you. So imagine you had this in the table, you wouldn't need to drag this, right? So let's highlight this, let's quickly put it in the table. Okay, let's drag the table to cover this one up. Let's clear this side, and then let's just compute the same average again. So equal to average, and then I drag everything on this line and I hit enter. It automatically fills it. So make sure that once you work with a range, you always easily convert it and quickly convert it into a table to make sure that the formula you write on the top affects everything down. Okay, so let me see. So yes, let's practice our hands on this, and then I'll see you in the next video where we do count and count A, and then in subsequent times we do a count if. So thank you very much. If you joined me to this part of the video, please like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't, and please let me hear from you in the comment section, and don't forget to turn on the notification bell. Thank you, and see you in the next one. Bye.